Hi guys, this is Evil Bobbins again. This is another video on the Advent Vega. This time we're doing Vegacomb Beta 1.3, which was released today. The guys have made some pretty good updates to this one. They've done a lot of work on the framework, so the real nitty gritty back end's been updated. They've made it a bit smoother, a little bit quicker, makes the UI a little bit snappier. They've also fixed a fault with Myron and Dolphin so they display properly. They've fixed the Wi-Fi problem and the notification bar. So we'll just jump into notifications down here. You can see it doesn't have this crazy little black line thing going on. They've removed that completely in this version. And if we go into Wi-Fi, the original Wi-Fi problem was if you turned it on, you'd have to restart the tablet to get it to actually turn on. It kind of gets stuck. But now we can click the on button, and within a couple of seconds it's on and searching for networks. So we should see a list of networks appear in a second. There we go. So that's on without even really trying now, which is pretty cool. They have added a screenshot facility into this under screen. It's this option here. But whenever I turn it on at the moment, I get a force close. But at the minute, I'm not really too fussed about that. So that's kind of something that'd be nice to have once the kinks are worked out. They've added a nice boot logo to it. So you get a nice little Vegacomb boot logo on there now. They've added in a recovery shortcut, which is this one here. So this is an update to the original one. So that actually works on this, whereas the previous version didn't. They've stopped the book application disappearing, where it disappear after about a minute of being on, and then wouldn't come back. They've added back in the calendar application, because we were on a bit of problems with it last time. The micro SD card now works correctly, whereas before it was being seen as USB storage. Now it's actually seen as SD. You can now mount FAT, EXT and NTFS USB storage through the file browser, which is a welcome bonus. And you get a nice notification when you plug in the USB. So I'm just going to try that now, because I've not seen that myself yet. As I've got my USB drive handy, I'll plug it in. Yeah, we got a little USB connected down here, which is quite cool. And we got a nice little icon now. And we can go on there. And we get the thing that's familiar to most of us, the turn on and off USB mass storage, which is quite handy. Didn't see that in the previous beta build, so that's quite good. Nice addition. Overall, it's a little bit snappier, a little bit smoother. It still runs at 1.5 GHz, but you can install set CPU to knock that back down to 1 GHz or 1.2, which is what quite a few people run it at. Personally, I run it about 1.4 anyway on the Corvus 5 ROM. So we'll just jump into a few applications and see if everything still works okay. One thing that doesn't work still is the camera, so if I click on it, it'll force close. But that's a known issue that they're trying to work out at the moment, which is something nice. To be fair, I don't use the camera myself, so it's no real impact for me. So we can get things like the calculator that loads nice and quickly. We can try the music application. Doesn't quite read the memory card. If I was to pop the memory card out a second, this did work on the previous beta build. If I pop the memory card out and then back in again when it was running, get a little warning icon down here, so it preps the storage. And then if I go back into, say, gallery, this worked on the previous beta build of it. Yeah, you can see that it's loading up the files on the memory card. So we'll see if that works with music as well now. No, it doesn't work on this version. It could be it's still rebuilding, so that's something that could get worked out just by leaving it on for a bit longer, because it runs the service in the background to grab all your music from the cards. Hopefully that will work, because it did work in the previous beta build, so it's probably just my memory card layout. But it's got the extras there. So at the minute we haven't really got any music on there to skim through. I'm sure it'll work if it's on there long enough, so it did work with the previous version. So the album itself is working, so the gallery side of things is working. which is quite cool. So hopefully, yeah, you can see all the videos working there, and a few other bits. Hopefully after a reboot or two we'll get the music app working. That's pretty much it for the 1.3 build. Overall it feels a little bit smoother. It's got a few nice extras in, so I might try run this as a main OS for a little bit, whereas before there was a few hiccups and it wasn't quite working how I wanted to. But with this working how it is now, I may run this as a standard on here for a little bit and see how far we get with it. So that's Beta 1.3 from Team Corvus and Team Newcomer and Team Villain. If you've got any comments, leave in the box below. I'll leave a link to this in the notes so you guys can have a go with it yourself and flash it on there and see what you guys think. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time.